13-year-old girl walked up to her best friend in English class and slapped her across the face in front of 27 students. She had a reason. The reason was a Roblox account, and you need to hear it. Riley was 13 and Sophie was 13, and they had been best friends since the 3rd grade. They had matching hoodies, they had matching phone cases, they had matching nicknames for every teacher at school. They had a shared Roblox account they had built together over 4 full years of after-school sessions. The account had limited items worth almost $400 on the Roblox secondary market. It had 2 legendary pets from Adopt Me. It had 3 rare hats from the 2023 winter event. Riley and Sophie had earned every single item by playing together every single day after school. They knew the password by heart. Neither of them had ever changed it without telling the other one. The account was named after their initials and the year they had become best friends in 3rd grade. On a Tuesday in October, they got into a fight about a boy named Jacob who sat behind them in math. Riley thought Jacob liked her. Sophie thought Jacob liked Sophie. They did not talk for 3 days. On Friday morning, they made up at lunch like nothing had happened. They sat at their usual table. They shared the same yogurt the way they always did. They walked to 5th period together holding pinkies. Riley thought everything was back to normal. She was wrong about that part. On Friday night, Sophie did something Riley would not understand for almost 3 weeks. Sophie texted a boy in their class named Tyler. She gave him the password to the shared Roblox account. Tyler logged in within 10 minutes. He stripped the account of every single item it had ever owned. He sold the limited items on a Discord server within an hour. He kept the money for himself. By Saturday morning, the account that Riley and Sophie had built for 4 years was completely empty. Riley discovered the empty account on Saturday afternoon when she logged in to play with Sophie. She stared at the empty inventory screen for almost 10 full minutes before she could process it. She thought it was a glitch at first. She tried logging out and back in. The inventory stayed empty. She checked the trade history. The trade history showed every single item gone since Friday night. Riley called Sophie immediately. Sophie did not answer the first call. She did not answer the second. On the 3rd call, Sophie picked up and said she did not know what Riley was talking about. Riley spent the rest of Saturday trying to figure out who had hacked their account. She filed a support ticket with Roblox. She posted in 3 Discord servers asking for help. By Sunday night, somebody finally messaged her back with a screenshot of the original trade. This screenshot showed the password being entered from a phone number Riley recognized immediately. It was Tyler's phone number. Tyler from their math class. Tyler, who Sophie had been texting. Riley sat on her bed Sunday night and put the whole story together by herself in the dark. Sophie had given Tyler the password on purpose. Tyler had cleaned out their account on purpose. Sophie had answered the phone Sunday morning and lied to Riley's face on purpose. Riley did not sleep Sunday night. She did not eat breakfast Monday morning either. She walked into English class on Monday morning carrying 4 years of friendship in her shaking hands. What happened in the next 90 seconds was something the principal would later describe carefully. He said nobody at the school had ever seen anything quite like it before that morning. Sophie was already sitting at her desk when Riley walked into the classroom at 8:23. Sophie looked up from her notebook and smiled at Riley like nothing was wrong. Riley did not smile back. Riley walked past her own desk. Riley walked straight to Sophie's row. Sophie's smile started to fade as Riley got closer. The other students started to look up. Riley stopped in front of Sophie's desk and asked her one question in a very quiet voice. She asked, "Did you give Tyler the password?" Her voice was barely above a whisper. Sophie did not answer. Sophie did not move. Sophie did not look at her. Riley asked again, louder this time. She said, "Did you give him the password, Sophie?" Sophie finally looked up. Sophie's face was completely white. Sophie opened her mouth and said nothing. Riley raised her hand and slapped Sophie across the face, hard enough that everyone heard it. The classroom went completely silent. 27 students stopped breathing at the exact same time. Mr. Chen, the English teacher, stood up so fast he knocked his coffee mug off his desk. Sophie did not cry. Sophie did not yell. Sophie just sat there with her hand on her cheek. Riley stood frozen in front of her, with her own hand still in the air, shaking. Mr. Chen reached the two girls in 4 steps and quietly told Riley to come with him. Riley walked out of the classroom with Mr. Chen without looking back at Sophie one time. Sophie stayed at her desk for the rest of the period with her hand on her cheek. She did not cry until the bell rang. She cried in the bathroom for the next 2 periods. Riley was suspended from school for 1 week. Her mother picked her up at 10 o'clock that morning. The principal called both families into his office on Tuesday afternoon to start the investigation. The investigation took 3 days. The school confirmed Sophie had given Tyler the password on Friday night. Tyler was suspended for 2 weeks for the account theft. He had to pay restitution to both families. Riley still served her 1-week suspension because the slap was not allowed under any circumstances. Sophie was not suspended. Sophie was given counseling sessions instead, 3 times a week to start. Riley returned to school the following Monday morning, expecting to feel righteous about what she had done. She did not feel righteous. She just felt tired and confused about why none of it felt right. The principal called her into his office before first period that Monday morning. He sat her down at his desk. He turned his computer monitor around to face her. He said, "Riley, I want to show you something the cameras caught over the last 6 weeks." What was on the screen was the part of this story that Riley would later say broke her open. The principal had pulled 6 weeks of hallway camera footage from the school security system. The footage showed Sophie arriving at school every morning between 7:38 and 7:42. The footage showed Sophie sitting on the bench outside the front entrance every single morning for 6 weeks. The footage showed Sophie crying, sometimes for 1 minute, sometimes for 9, sometimes longer. Every morning, for 43 consecutive school days. Before walking into the building like nothing was wrong, Riley watched the footage 3 times before she could make herself ask the principal the next question. She finally asked the question. She said, "Why didn't she tell me? Why didn't she say anything?" The principal sat back in his chair and said 3 words. He said, "Her parents separated." This is the part of the story that, if you are watching this, you should hear twice. Sophie's parents had filed for divorce on the 2nd week of August, 3 days before school started. Sophie had known for 43 days. Sophie had not told a single person in her life about it. Not her grandparents, not her cousin, not the school counselor, not even Riley. Especially not Riley. Because Riley was the only friend Sophie had left in the world. Sophie had been terrified that if she told Riley, Riley would treat her differently. Carefully. Sadly. Sophie did not want Riley to look at her like a sad girl from a broken home. So Sophie did something only a 13-year-old in pain would think to do. She destroyed the one thing she shared with Riley that she could destroy. She gave Tyler the password on purpose. She knew exactly what he would do with it. She let him empty their 4-year account because she needed Riley to react to something real. She did not know how to ask for help. She knew how to break a friendship instead. She had been hoping Riley would notice. Riley had noticed in the most violent way possible. The slap had not been an attack on a thief. The slap had been an answer. It had been the answer to a question Sophie had been asking silently for 6 weeks. The question was the one she could not say out loud. It was, Is anybody actually watching me anymore? The answer was yes. The cost of the answer was the most expensive thing either of them had owned together. Riley sat in the principal's office and understood something for the first time in her life. She understood that anger and love can be the same exact emotion, wearing two different masks. Riley walked out of the principal's office and went straight to the school counselor's office. Sophie was already there for her Monday morning session. Riley asked if she could come in too. The counselor said yes. Sophie did not look up. Riley sat down in the chair next to her. Riley did not apologize for the slap. Sophie did not apologize for the password. They both cried instead, in the same room, on the same couch, for almost 40 minutes straight. Sophie's parents finished the divorce 3 months later. Sophie moved with her mother to a new apartment. Riley spent every Friday night at that apartment for the entire next year of their lives. They built a new Roblox account together. They named it after the day Riley walked into the counselor's office. If you are watching this, here is what Riley learned that morning in the principal's office. When somebody you love does something that does not make sense, the reason is almost never the reason you think it is. People do not destroy what they love because they are evil. They destroy it because they are drowning. They destroy it because the silent kind of asking for help did not work for them. They destroy it because making you angry feels safer than making you sad about them. If your best friend, your sibling, or anyone you love suddenly does something cruel that does not fit who they are, stop. Before you react, ask yourself one question. Ask what they have been hiding for 6 weeks. You probably do not know the answer. You probably will not until they tell you. But the asking is the part that opens the door. The reacting is the part that breaks the door. The second thing Riley learned is the harder one to admit out loud as a 13-year-old. A slap is never about the moment it happens in. A slap is always about the thing nobody saw coming. The thing Sophie wanted was not for Riley to lose her temper or get suspended that morning. The thing Sophie wanted was for somebody to finally see her on the bench outside the school. A camera saw her first. A best friend almost did not. The next time somebody you love acts cruel for no reason, be the second one to see them. Have you fought with a best friend over something that turned out to be something else? Tell me below. If you watched till the end, drop a like and subscribe. See you next time!